Alright, before I even attempt to begin to talk about this, I recognize fully that I am not in any way, shape, or form anywhere near to being the target audience for this movie. In fact, I only bought this movie because of the song. You know what song? I don't need to tell you. As you're on Instagram, you see one clip from the Oscars, and all of a sudden it's stuck in your head. And then you make it your ringtone to bug your son, and it gets more stuck in your head. So you buy the movie, your son gives you a weird look like, really? And then you just let it sit there for about 2 weeks before you even take a shot of watching it. Because you really don't know why you bought it. But hey, let's give it a shot, you know? So from the very beginning of this development, I was curious about this movie because I didn't know what to think of it. Because it was confusing. Because at first, when they announced it, they said it was going to be a biopic about the woman who created Barbie. And then they started announcing the castings for Barbie and Ken, and I went, wait, why do you need a Barbie and a Ken in a biopic? Little did I know that must have changed from what they originally wanted. Okay, sure, Barbie and Ken, they go on an adventure, right? If this movie was made in the 90s and the 2000s, maybe. But we're in a world where everything has to be a message. So, no, we don't get a fun Barbie movie with Barbie and Ken on an adventure. We get part of that, but they're so focused on hammering that message into your head that you don't get to have fun with it. Right? Barbie and Ken come from Barbie land to the real world. But the whole time they're in the real world, it's not about, wow, look at all this real world stuff. No, it's about Barbie needs to be feminist. Ken needs to be a chauvinist. Because that's what men are, apparently. Oh yeah, this is a feminist movie, by the way. Which is not what I would have pegged for a Barbie movie. And I started watching this, and I saw the opening, and I went, this was nominated for an Oscar, huh? And then I finished the movie, and I went, that was nominated for an Oscar, huh? Look, no disrespect, okay? But this movie did not deserve a nomination. Maybe the song deserved it. But the only reason, if this movie came out in the 90s or 2000s, there'd be no nomination. It's a Barbie movie. They wouldn't care. But because they decided to push the feminist message, I'm not saying agenda because that's not what it is, push a feminist message in this film, that's why it got nominated. Because that's what you do nowadays. You get recognized for doing stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, it's not like overtly just banging into your head, women are better than men. Women are better than men. It's more about women being their own thing next to men. It's not like women domineering over men or controlling men or making men do it. No, this is not the Black Christmas remake. Okay, it's not that at all. Or the Summer Party Massacre remake. It's not like that at all. It's more equality than it is one over the other, it feels like. But I do feel like we could have done this without the feminist angle. Because this is not what I think of when I think Barbie movie. I think fun little Barbie movie. Like, they did a whole bunch of animated Barbie films in the 2000s. My sister had a whole bunch of them. There's like a Nutcracker one. There was a bunch of other ones that she had and dolls to go with it. Oh yeah, I had a Ken when I was younger. I'll admit I had a Ken. I also had a G.I. Joe that kicked its ass. Ken's a cream puff. And I was shocked that they didn't make Ken gay. But again, I was also surprised that they didn't go. That's another thing. Because I thought, because Ken dresses like a poof, he must be gay. Even the ones that dress kind of poofy are still straight. Like, you have Ncuti Gatwa in here, who is a proud gay man. He's playing straight, which you can do that. You can do that. But, it's, another thing that some people might say is like, okay, so they got a bunch of different actors who play the different Kens and the different Barbies. Even though you can look at the dolls, it's all the same face. Black, white, Chinese, whatever. It's all the same face because it's all the same template. But you can't do that with actors because that's racist. So you hire a bunch of different actors. That's fine. That's fine. I also found it weird that we have Margot Robbie is a stereotypical Barbie, but Ken is definitively Beach Ken. I think there's a stereotypical Ken, but he's not. I don't remember seeing him. He's not the stereotypical one. He's the beach one, you know. And again, though, I gotta think when I think of Barbie movie, this is not what I would think of because, you know, you think if you're making a movie about Barbie, it would be aimed towards little girls. That's not what this is. Like I said, it's a feminist movie. It's in that kind of direction. So it's not aimed towards little girl, which I feel like is a bad decision. I mean, sure, it made money. But think if you made it a Barbie movie aimed towards children. By the way, I don't remember them putting out any kind of warning to parents. So I imagine there were some parents that took their little girls to see this and got horrified with some of the dialogue and some of the attitudes and just what, because, you know, they didn't put it out. You know, I can imagine. You know, my mom tried watching this once. She was drinking. Don't judge. I drink too. It's fine. And she said she couldn't. Said she's got to watch it again. And she said my son probably shouldn't watch it. And the last time I was there, I bought it. And she said, well, you know, it'd be fine if William watched it. I'm like, sure you said last time? No, he'd be fine. No. I'm not letting my son watch this until he's old enough to understand what a gynecologist is. Because I don't want to have to explain to him when he asks, what's a gynecologist? You never mind. You just, no. Never mind. You never mind. Also, there is dialogue in here that is explicitly not for kids. Like the Kents that have a face-off, or a beach-off, as they say. And then they start saying, like, I'm going to beat you off. No, I'm going to beat you off. I'll beat you both off at the same time. Do you get the dialogue that's going on? Yes. I went. And then there's a dialogue later where they talk about when they get to the real world, and Barbie says, I don't have a vagina, and he doesn't have a penis. And I went, kids should not watch this. Even 13-year-olds, I don't know, probably still wouldn't understand. Depending on when you have the talk, I guess. But my son is 12, going on 13. We haven't had a talk yet. At least I haven't talked with him yet. I'm hoping his mother can do that. But the last time he had an issue, she decided I had to talk to him about it. You know, it's an issue every young boy has where you can't stop touching a certain part. Every boy has it. I had that when I was younger. And because I'm the man, I'm the father, I had to speak with him about it. He was like 7. Around that age too. In fact, I'd be disparaged to find that around kindergarten time, you wouldn't find a picture without me laying on a couch or a bed with my hand down my pants. I don't know what the problem was. It just, maybe I had the Al Bundy syndrome. Yeah. You know, I don't know. But falling asleep like that, imagine your hand would fall asleep. I couldn't do that now. No. I'm just saying, like, where was I going with this? You know, I just don't want to. I'm not ready. I don't know if he's ready to have that talk. I'm not ready to have that talk. So stuff like penis, vagina, gynecologist, and beat you off are not stuff I want my son around. Not yet. Although he wouldn't get the beat you off joke, but still, I'm surprised they allowed that in a PG-13 movie. Then again, they do emphasize beach you off. I'll beach you off. I'll beach you both off. They do emphasize that. But still, as an adult, you hear that joke and you go, Even for PG-13, that seems a little risque, but, you know. So, I'm about 10 minutes in and I still haven't told you. The plot of the movie is that Barbie starts to feel something's wrong. So, and they find out that the portal to the real world is open. So she and Ken, who kind of stows away in her car, drive to the real world where they get acquainted with the real world, and it throws everything out of whack. And I will say, when it starts out as being this fish out of water stuff, it was fun. It made me think of a movie we could have. But then we gotta have Barbie have an existential crisis. Like, oh, there's no women in charge? Which, look, you beat me over the head with this message. Even the depiction in this movie is not even realistic. They got a board of directors of the Barbie Corporation with no women on it. Bullshit. Not one woman. Come on. And the way they talk about there's no women in position of powers. Bullshit. We had a female Supreme Court justice once. A long time ago. No. That's not. I know that men, I don't want to say they're predominant, but men have been. I feel like we're equal, but like there was a time where men were the predominant species and we've sort of equaled out. There's equal shares of men and women, but for this movie to be feminist, it has to be all men controlling everything, which is not true. And then, so you have her realizing that men rule the world. Ken also realizes it and reads a book on patriarchy and becomes a chauvinist, and then goes back to Barbie world to make it the Kendom and have the Kens become predominant over the women, and the women become subservient and submissive. Servant, like it was in the 1950s. So I'll serve you your food. I'll have your dinner ready by you home from work. I'll be your maid. That whole thing. But there are still female maids, by the way. I'm just saying. But male housekeepers too. Female housekeepers. There still is that. People can make good money doing that. Just saying. But yeah, so then it becomes, Barbie needs to get her world back to the way it was before, where women were on top and men were just to the side. There's even a moment where she goes to the real world in search of the little girl who was playing with her. Now that sounds wrong, but it's Barbie, okay? Turns out it was the girl's mom that did it, which caused the existential crisis. So they go back into the Barbie world and decide they have to change everything back. I was going with something. You went all back, all the way that she wanted to be, the way it was before. But I totally lost what I was going to say. And it's like, when they get there, they're like, where do the Kens stay? I don't know. When she's talking about, the Barbies are here, the president's there. Where do the Kens live? I don't know. So it's like, again, in this world, Kens, or the men, are pushed like they just live on the beach or something. I don't know. But it's here that also the board members end up coming through too, because they're following them, chasing her through the thing. There's the moment where she's running through the building and she finds this room with Rhea Perlman in it. She says her name is Ruth. Now, if you know who created Barbie, you probably figure out, that's her. Ruth Hendon? I don't remember the last name. Is there a credit thing with it? Barbie created by. Based on Barbie by Mattel. Doesn't say. But so they have a little conversation, and then she goes out another door and runs back to Barbie Land. And then we have this whole thing The Barbies decided they need to get the Kens to fight. Okay? And so they start just going from Ken to Ken and making him jealous, causing the Kens to fight. It basically gets Ken, it's Ryan Gosling Ken shooting Gatwa Ken, Gravik from Secret Invasion Ken, and then Simu it leads another other Kens. Also, there's jokes to the ones that were canceled, like there's a dog, there was no pooping. They acknowledge Skipper, but the Wikipedia page wrongly identifies her as Barbie's friend. She was Barbie's little sister. Barbie's little sister, not friend. She was her little sister. I know, because my sister had one, right? And then, maybe to avoid controversy, they introduced the pregnant doll, what they call her Midge. But if you go all the way back to when it came out, it was a pregnant Barbie. It was pregnancy Barbie. But that was controversial, so it was canceled. And they named her differently because of that controversy. She was never Midge. She was pregnancy Barbie. Right? I'm just saying. There's other Kens too. And then there's Crazy Barbie, which is Kate McKinnon. And of course, you want a crazy person, bring in Kate McKinnon. And she's great. She's Kate McKinnon. She's playing Kate McKinnon. But it's here, during the Ken War, that we get the song. You know what song. We have other songs in here too. There's a song at the beginning that is very annoying. Pink! I'd rather have Aerosmith. Pink, it was my favorite color. And pink, it was love at first sight. I'd rather have that song, Pink. They performed that at the Kids' Choice Awards, by the way. Even though, if you listen to the song, you know why pink is their favorite color. But they allowed that at the Kids' Choice Awards because they didn't know what it was about. But pink, you know pink. I'm just saying. Then again, they allowed Pink to see Get the Party Started at the Kids' Choice Awards too. With the blurring out, the bleeping out the word. Anyway. Or she changed, whatever. It's here we get the song. The Ken song. The Oscar-nominated Ken song. Which has been stuck in my brain since the stupid clip from the Oscars came out. I've watched the clip from the movie. I've watched the clip from there. I've listened to the song. To the point that I even had some of the choreography down. I'm just kidding. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. My destiny. But yeah, just, yes, the song has been living rent-free in my head for ever now. And yes, I got up and I danced with it. I love the song. Don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. Stop judging me! But then, after the whole plan to get the Kens to fight, the Kens realized, it's a distraction so that they could go ratify their constitution. Because the Kens were going to change it so the Kens were the predominant. So, Barbie and the two from the real world were convincing the other Barbies, changing them back to the way they were. And then having them distract the Kens, causing the Ken War. And they were distracted with the Ken War while they ratified the Constitution, changed it back to the way it was. But because of this, it causes Ken to have an existential crisis. Because he, sorry to say, rightfully so, feels that he and Barbie should be a couple. That's how it's always been. And that's an issue I have with this, is that because they made it a feminist film, Ken is not a love interest. He's an obstacle in the way. He is the enemy because they made this a feminist film. Whereas if you just made a regular Barbie film, they'd be equals, going on a journey together, probably love interests. The one time he tries to kiss her, she moves away because that's not how we gotta portray women anymore. Women don't want to kiss men. Women want to be on top and masters of their own domain. That's why movies nowadays, love interest, suck. Because you can't write them like you used to be in love interest. You got to write them more, independent, which is fine. But that kind of ruins the love interest thing. A lot of times you try to do love interest stuff and it doesn't work because you can't make them outright love interests. Ken and Barbie not being love interests with each other, to me, it doesn't work. That's the whole point. You buy the dolls, Ken and Barbie. They love each other, right? That's how it's supposed to be. But no, because they decided to make this a feminist film, they can't do that. So now, what's Ken's solution? He's gonna be Ken. And they're gonna be Ken. And does anyone feel like the I'm Just Ken song should have been after this? Because she even says, well, you're just Ken. I'm just Ken. I'll just be Ken. Doesn't it feel like that should be the where he sings the song? Why was the song before this? Because the song feels like an exclamation point to this, and now having him be his own person by the end of the song, along with the other Kens, being sort of liberated. But the song comes before this. I think it was edited wrong. And so now oh, by the way, I forgot to mention Will Ferrell is in this. He plays the CEO of the company, the head of the company. And he wants to put everything back the way it was. No, we gotta... There is a literal scene earlier where they want to put her back in the box. And they demonstrate this by trying to strap her in. As if to say the men are going to make her be what they want her to be. Yeah. I'm here going, for God's sake. Really? You got to beat me over the head so much with your symbolism. I get it. Okay? I get it. I get what you're saying. You don't need to hammer it in so much. Okay? I get it. And then she escapes because she wants to be free. I get it. So it's going to be different now. The Kens and Barbies are going to live equally, I guess. Except for our Barbie because she's going to go back to the real world. Yeah. For a gynecology appointment. Again, I'm not going to let my son watch this. I don't want to have to explain to him what a gynecologist is. No, thank you. No. And despite the fact that they said the song would not be in the movie, you know, I'm a big girl. It technically is because, much like Good Burger, they remixed it. Again, no. Just play the actual song. Why do we have to remix it with some cool, terrible song from now? All music that comes out now, at least the pop music genre, sucks because it's all like bullshit. I don't know. Some music nowadays, I'm sitting here going, that's music? Back when I was a kid, my mom told me to shut up because it was making too much noise. Sounding like that. Come on. Well, the music in this movie is not that bad. One last thing before I wrap this up is the casting. Okay? When I think of a Barbie movie, I don't think of... I feel like the actors are too old. Because I feel like if you want Barbie, again, maybe this more fits into regular Barbie style movie, not feminist Barbie style movie. Regular style Barbie movie, not feminist style Barbie movie. But I would think maybe an actor or actors in their mid-20s would work. Margot Robbie is 33. That's fine. Ryan Gosling is in his mid-40s. And has to have fake abs. I think they're fake. I don't know. They look fake. But I'm sure he's got abs, but not like that. I don't know. He just, I don't know. I gotta say that because I don't know. It's just... Ken is played by a 45-year-old actor. I don't know. When they announced the casting, I thought they were both too old. Even though Margot Robbie is younger than I am. I don't know. She looks older than she is, I guess. There are actors that are like that, But I don't know. We all know that picked Margot Robbie because of her star power, right? She's like the Warner Brothers shining knight when it comes to movies. Ryan Gosling, he's got the sex appeal, I guess. I don't know if you go for that. But I don't know. I just always felt like, again, when they were announced, I was thinking normal Barbie movie, not feminist Barbie movie. But I guess they work fine. Their performances are great. They're good. They're great. Fine. People were pissed off that Margot Robbie didn't give a Best Actress nomination for this. And I did. Where in this movie does it feel like she needs to be nominated for a Best Actress? She's doing the same performance she's done in other movies. If this deserves an Oscar, then Harley Quinn deserves an Oscar. Then her performance spreading her legs in The Wolf of Wall Street deserves an Oscar. It's the same performance. She even sort of has the same kind of accent as Harley Quinn, because unlike most actresses from Australia, she doesn't hard R most of his stuff because they have to sound American, so they go, I'll go far with you. Are you going to go outside today? No, are you? She has or she has that kind of thing, and it works. You know, Christian Bale did the same thing for the Newsies. He had that sort of New York accent because it works. It's easier for actors who have that, awe because of the, because of British and Australian, that it's easier for them to have sort of a twang, and she puts the twang on it. And I like that they didn't just have her do the "Are you?" Because it sticks out, because that's not how they're supposed to talk. Look at some of the later seasons of Power Rangers that they take place in. It was filmed in New Zealand. The Australian and New Zealand actors in that didn't know how to do it right, and so, come on, let's go farther, man. Come on, we're Power Rangers. Except for, like, Paul Magasifa. Oh, come on, we're Power Rangers. We're Power Rangers. Kind of put it, Power Rangers? Power Rangers? Kind of puts that kind of drink to Power Rangers. But, at the end of the day, it's not a bad movie. I don't know that I'd ever actually watch it again, but I'll probably listen to the song again, man, because that song slaps, as the kids say. For me, I'm going to give it a middle of the road. I know, shoot me now. It's not my kind of movie. I'm not the audience for it. But if you are, then you'll probably enjoy it, I think they dropped the ball on this. Instead of making it feminist, they should just made it a straight up Barbie movie. It's just because I guarantee you, when a Barbie movie was announced, people thought it was going to be something different, and then we got this, and it's not what you think of when you hear Barbie movie, because it's a feminist movie, and although that's fine, you shouldn't do that with Barbie. Barbie should be the furthest thing from feminism, in my opinion. It's my opinion. I'm a man. Whatever. I'm just saying. I'm all for equality. Don't get me wrong. I'm not willing to say, hey, she has to be barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen. No, I'm not like that. I'm equality. Do what you want. Be who you want to be, right? Whatever you want. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Barbie? Leave a comment below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.